What did you eat for breakfast?
I ate fruit salad with nuts.
Welcome to Music on Your Own Terms, the podcast that aims to help musicians develop an entrepreneurial mindset through interviews, as well as discussing resources, concepts, successes, and more. Providing a platform to talk about negative emotions such as anxiety and depression in order to help overcome them in the context of music and reduce the social stigma. This is episode 124.
This episode is sponsored by Ignite Your Music Career. You may remember in episode 90 I chatted to Craig Dodge about sync licensing and how he makes a living through writing music for TV, video games, and film. Musicians all over the world subscribe to Ignite Your Music Career and earn more royalties, more upfront sync fees, and more recurring revenue from their music. Whether you're a composer, singer-songwriter, band, beatmaker, or instrumentalist, your music can be earning you more money. Internationally acclaimed composer, musician, and music educator Craig Dodge has licensed his music in more than 1,000 TV show episodes, films, video games, and ads all over the world, and he will show you how you can too. Ignite gives you the information you need in a simple, accessible format, and you learn at your own pace. For just $6 a month, you get a video lesson each week on topics related to music licensing, from writing techniques to how to find your markets, and everything in between. You also get tools and activities to build the skills you need to be successful, and each lesson includes a royalty-free sound pack to download and use in your own music. The key to success in the music business today is to diversify your sources of revenue. Ignite will show you how. For more information or to subscribe to Ignite, visit the website at taris-studios.com or click the link on musiconyourownterms.com. Joining me this episode from Siberia is Pleximents mastermind Evgen Tsibulin, a multi-instrumentalist who used to tour in a death metal band and whose current day job is as a guitar player for an orchestra. We discover what prompted Evgen to create the Pleximents album, The Maze Within, which is effectively a prog-metal symphony, as well as the meaning behind the track names, lyrics, and concept as a whole. Evgen also talks about his old band Dehydrated, how he got the guitar tones on the albums he recorded with them, and his experience touring with Decapitated. If you enjoy the podcast and want to show your support, I'd be really grateful if you would consider signing up for the mailing list to stay in the loop with everything going on with the show. Just head over to musiconyourownterms.com and click the link. While you're there, you can also visit the store and grab some merch, or just buy me a coffee and help out with the running costs of the show. Thanks for listening. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today I'm joined by Evgen Tsibulin, also known or runs the prog band Pleximents. So how you doing and welcome.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for having me on your episode. I'm doing cool, and I'd like to say thank you so much again because I have known about your podcast from the episode with Brian Beller.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I saw the link I saw the announcement of the episode in his Instagram, and I tried to listen to it because very interesting person for me, but I think for a lot of people, a lot of musicians, that episode was really cool. I grabbed a lot of useful information for myself as musicians and as entrepreneur in music. And then I decided to listen another episode for what you're doing, and I found the episode with Mika Tiska. In my opinion, very cool guitar player, very cool human being, and that was also interesting to listen to it. Also, I checked some other episodes, and for me, it's a big pleasure to be right here in this episode.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, Brian was an epic episode, and I've listened to Mika for a long time. He's one of my favorite guitar players, so that's awesome. So you're in Seversk, is that, I pronounced that right? And that's Siberia?
Yes. Tomsk is city of West Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
Siberia is vast and mysterious place actually. So a lot of people from abroad countries interested in what Siberia is about. It's about weather,
Yeah.
about people, about culture, about everything related. Pretty cool place, but so far from other world actually. It's pretty hard to bring some music from here to the world. But I try to do my best anyway. So yeah, Tomsk is a city which has a lot of universities.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we've got a lot of students who gathering from other Russian cities to us, and actually from abroad countries like China, African countries, and a lot of other other places, because the main university in Tomsk is one of this university in the 300 top universities in the world. That's why we've got a lot of people from abroad countries. It's pretty interesting, and about 10 years ago, the music industry, so to speak, was developing very good. But now it's much harder. But anyway, a lot of students make some cultural and music movement. Anyway,
Awesome. Well, let's talk about Pleximents. So, could you talk about, what does it sound like and how it got started?
the Pleximents actually is my for now it's my project. It's the main thing that I'm focused on. If speak about my other career as musician, actually this album that I released with Pleximents, with the brand Pleximents, I mean, back then when I was creating the music for this album, all materials, I thought that I will release the album, just another solo album, because I already have another one, the first one, maybe, if I could say it like this. So and I thought that it will be another album of Evgen Tsibulin, guitar player from Siberia, who makes some stuff as a solo guitarist. But in the process of making this album, I found some ideas that I can't. So if I want to bring my music from Siberia to the world, I must to gather the full band, make a project, the band from this project, and have a brand name for this firstly project and then for band. That's why I decided to release the album not under my personal name, and I generated the ideas and found this name is much perfect for what I'm doing now. That's why I could say that Pleximents first that was like a one-man band, but when I was creating the music, I tried to gather some musicians that I know already, tried to write some emails to musicians that I'm dreaming to collaborate with. Sometimes some of them answered to me, of course, and maybe I didn't have some resources for collaboration with them, but money, time, and stuff like that. And now I can say that Pleximents develop process from project to the whole band, because we already played on one show in our hometown, the first official, and there were musicians from actually my colleagues, some of them my colleagues from my day job, and there were a couple of guys who want to be in the band, official members of the band. And now we're already thinking how we can develop it further and further. And maybe in the future, I'm sure in the future we will do new stuff already together, not only by myself in the kitchen room, but already all together. Yes. And this album wrote almost by myself. Yeah, I have collaboration with 8 musicians except me, and there were some guys from other cities and from my hometown too. So to speak, if we talk about what Pleximent is about, if speak about music, this is mostly instrumental progressive metal stuff, which I already been dreaming to create since I think 2017, when I dropped the single called Disquieting Time. I did it with two guys, with drummer and bass player. Those guys were very good, professional, and they did their jobs perfectly. And since that time, I was busy enough with some other projects, but I have been dreaming to make a release, a conceptual album of progressive metal. And so here it is. It's already on Spotify. So.
Right. I've been listening to it. I think it's great. It's, some Dream Theater influence in it. There's a lot of different instrumentation. Yeah, I love how you've blended like classical guitar with the shred, and I think it's really cool. The only thing I'd say is it's just too short. It needs to be a lot longer.
If I get it right, you want it to be longer, or it's too long?
No, I want more. It's great.
Oh yeah,
but it's too short. I want to listen to longer stuff. So
yeah, I'm really appreciated that you like this stuff.
No problem. How do you go about? I read on your website, I think, or on your social media, that you've been kind of collecting this stuff, and it's like a bunch of ideas, and then you've kind of formed it into larger pieces. Is that how you generally write everything, or do you have some other writing processes?
So the writing process was pretty long, of course. I could say that the more I develop myself as a musician, as composer, the more I try to change something before I understand that now that music might sound very good. So I mean, that was a long process, because the first was a spark, was the first idea that I thought back then. I thought that it might be an intro, the first song on the album, the opening. So, and then I was trying to develop this idea, and I realized that I can play this idea in different ways. I can play this key, so I can play in this key. I can play with a special tuning on classical guitar, and I can play with drop A tuning on electric guitar, for example. I can play in one genre, another genre. So I found a lot of ways of this, and I tried to understand what the sense behind this spark, behind this idea. Yeah, I've got actually. I found that, and I can explain it if someone will ask me. But anyway, back then I realized that I have to implement it in other ways and make the album which will have some repeated ideas, song by song, as prog-metal artists like do, and I really like it. For example, I've been listening to the great composer, at least for myself, is David Maximicic from Serbia, for example. You know his music, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, cool guy, and I've been listening to his music, and I found this thing. I have been finding this thing in Dream Theater, of course, Dream Theater stuff, and I thought that I must do the same because I really love it. And then I found it in the classical music when I've been listening to it and learning about it. So that was pretty cool, and was actually overwhelming for me. And I understood that I have to do the conceptual album and find some sense behind the music and show it. So of course I didn't generate my riffs or lead parts around only one idea. Of course I've been generating some other riff stuff, a lot of things, and then I was trying to compile that stuff together. Of course, I worked hard for this, listening to it a lot of time, and not listening for a while, and trying to relax from this, and work hard as a composer, maybe not just a shredder. So, and yeah, I found this very interesting, and then in my life there were some changes. For example, now I'm working as a professional musician in two orchestras I'm playing in jazz big band on the guitar, of course. So and I'm playing in working as a guitar player in symphonic orchestra in theater, in musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
So and actually those things, my day job impacts on my music taste and helps me to grow as a composer because, for example, in theater, I found that music might be a special background for some movements, actions on the stage in the theater. And for example, there is a lot of things that I like from progressive metal. I mean, you hear, for example, the melody and find this melody already developed in another way in other songs. All that stuff I have been hearing in the music of theater, and I understood that I can bring it to my music, and I try to do my best implement this idea in my album. And then once I decided that, so why not to use vocal in my song, in one of my songs? And I actually after this idea to use the vocal, I understood that prog-metal is about long song, and I wrote the song about 20 minutes. I did it only once in my life now. Of course, I will try to do it on next releases, other releases. And so I understood that, yeah, it's pretty cool. It sounds very good. And a lot of things, I know there are a lot of things in one song, but it's connected between. It's okay. It sounds very good. And that must be sound like this. I connected with my friend Anton and asked him to record the vocal, clean vocal actually, to the song, and the growling part, sing it by myself, of course, because I have an experience of growling before. So that's why, that's briefly about my writing process, so to speak. Actually, on the album, there are a lot of parts of piano and classical guitar, as you noticed it. So the classical guitar, there is another story because once I tried to do some covers on classical guitar and actually did a cover of Polyphia songs, on a song of Polyphia, pretty popular band in the US, instrumental band. This cover was showed up by Metal Sax YouTube channel to guitarist of Polyphia, Tim Hansen, and Tim said that he should to take a lesson from me how to play classical guitar. Yeah, that was that was just it was big hype. Yes, of course, for me. And I understood that classical guitar may implement it in the metal music pretty good and try to do it in my music more and more. And actually, I found that people found it interesting. They like it. And of course, that's big pleasure for me because actually I was afraid about it because I've been thinking that so classical guitar, it's unfashionable things and it's not heavy enough, stuff like that, not interesting, and I was afraid about it actually. But anyway, there are a lot of parts of classical guitar and in every song you can hear it, and it's okay. For me, it's okay.
Awesome. Is there a specific, subject theme running through the album? And was that thought about before?
You mean particular subjects that I've been thinking before writing this album?
Yeah, I know. There's is it Prisoner of the Mind or something like that? So it's like maybe a mental health thing, like you're trapped inside your mind.
So actually, in my case, for me, it's pretty hard to name the compositions because in my case, I can write some music, and I hear it and I feel something. And for me, it's pretty hard to describe what actually I feel to name the song. This album is conceptual. It's all about the maze which builded up inside of a man. It's not about particular man. It's about any human being on the planet. there is a prescription, maybe, if I can say it like this, on my Digipack CD. It's of course in English. So I tried to implement the idea of the whole album only in text. And there are some words about that. Everyone, regardless of social status and how much money he gets in life, anything, could hear inner voice. There are a lot of messages which the person can hear from this voice. And if we listen to this voice, we are like in the maze. We're going down to the maze and wandering its tricky paths. And so it's all about not a particular human, it's about humanity, maybe. So about mental health, as the idea of your podcast, I found that about mental health of musicians and other people. So the same things with my album. It's for me now, right now, it's pretty hard to explain because I'm not advanced in English, but I try to do my best right now. So that's the conception of my album. Anyway, if clear this up, the conception of my album, it's about the maze within any kind of man, regardless of social status, regardless of wellness and family status, anything. So, and how to find the right exit from this maze. I don't know, maybe there was a period in my life when maybe I was trying to find this exit because there was something that impacts on me, and maybe yes, I tried to find this exit. I saw some people who already in the maze maybe, and when I was writing the album, this kind of activity of my brain, kind of activity of my body, that's I don't know, maybe state of mind, state of my soul, maybe I saw it from people around me. I collected and understand that we all need some courage and we all need some power to find some exit. Sometimes we need to get the power for find the light in the tunnel, in the end of the tunnel. So this music is all about this. My goal was not make the album of songs which just perfectly, not just perfectly, which just playing good in the track list of the album and just sounds very practical songs, an album of practical songs. My goal was trying to do something more than just good songs with good guitar sound and a lot of notes playing on electric guitar. So that's it. And that's why I found the idea what my music is about and tried to implement it. Of course, I understood that it flows from my state of mind and state of, I don't know, of my soul, maybe. That's what it is.
That's awesome. Do you think the writing of this music was somehow helpful to your mental state? Like, was it healing in a way?
Yeah, writing music, probably that's the cure for composers, people who really want to implement themselves in this world as a creator, as a music creator. It's anyway, it's a cure. You can grab the guitar, play it, and forget about problems, forget about something bad, and find yourself in the perfect world that resonate with you. It's pretty cool for any composer. It's gonna be big names or just people who make music as a hobby. And of course, there is a interesting story. The last song of the album of Pleximents, called Waltz of the Victory. It's not about victory of fascism or stuff like that. Victory, it's mostly about the victory of your alter ego. You can feel that you are win when you overcome some circumstance and overcome something difficult that what happened inside of you. So I hope you understand what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's song is called Waltz of the Victory. There in this song, I found some Reese melody, compiled it together and listened to it. I understand that it's like a story about a human, not a man or woman, a human who may face with some difficulties in life, and maybe it's all about life around the human, maybe inside the human, but the person must overcome this, and the person trying to do this, and in the end the person will win. And there is a epic ending of this song, playing the piano, a beautiful melody in major key. So, and I'm trying to do it epic, a lot of epic. I try to put a lot of epic in the end with symphonic orchestra, with lead parts, with very loud drums, everything that helps me to implement this idea. So it's like a symbol of your development, step up on the another level. So, and leave behind some anxieties, self-criticism, and stuff like this. And sometimes, actually, before the release of my album, sometimes, of course, I've got a lot of problems, a lot of stuff. Actually, for example, with the show that we played, I got really a lot of work, really a lot of stuff, and I must get through this. And sometimes I found myself on the thing that why I did write the song Waltz of the Victory if I can't overcome some circumstance. If I write this song, if I can inspire people to get better, I must to be better right now. I must to find some power inside myself and go through this. Also, the song with vocals, it's all about the sense, the essence of the album. It's, I mean, lyric is about the essence of the album. I tried to explain the conception of the whole album in this song, in the four part of the song. Is a long song, but that was enough of time to explain it. 12 minutes, yes, 12 minutes. I've been writing the lyrics. It's pretty hard. Actually, for me, it was pretty hard. But I didn't use translator before I write something. I wrote it in English firstly, but then I tried to edit it, and the singer Anton also was helping me to edit the write it on grammatic things. Also, there is in the lyric the sense that you can face some difficulties, you can face something really awful, but you have to get the power from inside and go through this. That's why that was the music and actually conception of how is about.
That's awesome. So I wondered if we could talk a little bit about your, I'm guessing, previous band, Dehydrated. I just found that it kind of like a mix of modern tech death with an old school sound, and I was hearing a bit of the German band Rage. I saw in some of the videos you got a VHT. I don't know if it was a Pitbull, and for non-guitar players that's an amp. But it's ridiculous tone. I mean, so like nasty of a tone. It was awesome.
Dehydrated. Yeah, this is my previous band, death metal band. Yeah, that's right. You talked to me about the tone of guitar in Dehydrated that I use in Dehydrated or on this album.
Well, we can talk about both, but I just noticed that you had a VHT, and it's such a mid-range sound. Like, I watched some live videos of you playing, and it's like, wow, that's it. Like, it was right out front. It really cut through. It was a really nice tone. But I know we talked back and forth on email about the tone of the album, and you were using plugin, and it wasn't. You said it wasn't the Triaxis, or it was the Triaxis.
Actually, that on the album, I was using the Mercurial Audio plugin SS11X. It was based on the preamp AMT, actually Siberian company AMT,
Okay.
and based on preamps of them. Actually, Mercurial has a plugin which based on the re-access of Mesa Boogie. Actually, I've got it on my laptop now, but I didn't use it in the album. Yeah, the album sounds was based on this plugin. But if speak about Dehydrated guitar stuff, there were a lot of different stuff, album after album, record after record. So first record is very, very old. If I get right, it was 2009. We used real amp. Yes, we used real amp, was using real amp and make a sound from this. So then the second album was written, I was writing the guitar, I was recording the guitar using the processor of Line 6, one of the first guitar processor of them, Line 6, not XT Live, previous one. It's hard to remember. It's previous one. And I use it.
XT Pro?
XT. No.
Maybe it wasn't XT. But...
yeah, XT Live. XT Live, yes. Pretty heavy stuff. It was so difficult to carry this on when we've been in tour around Russia. It's a long distance and you can carry on this guitar processor with other guitar stuff and you're just regular things. So, and I've been recording the guitar using this device as the sound card because I didn't have my just sound card. Pretty soft and easy sound card I use now, for example, on the record, latest record, Pleximents. So, and I've been using this guitar processor and as a sound card, I've been recording the guitar. I've been listening to the sound that gets from speakers or from headphones, and then I exported the clean sound of my guitar and sent it to the sound engineer. The sound engineer just used some. If I get it right, he was using the real amp for amping of my stuff, and he was using the real amp. I don't know. I don't remember what amp it was actually, but I know that it's real amp and make a ramping for this, and we get the guitar tone. And so then the third album I've been recording like the way like this, and we also did the ramping. And then latest release with me of Dehydrated was recorded on XFX.
Okay.
So I tried to find. I have not my own XFX, but I found the guy who gave me the XFX. We found the proper tone of this proper guitar tone. Actually, we tried to find the tone like Decapitated. Actually, one of my favorite band ever. We've been touring together once and it was awesome time for me. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of this band and pretty like the guitar tone, and I tried to find the same. And yeah, I found something and did it on the XFX. It's just about what gear we use on the record in Siberia.
That's cool. Yeah, I was going to ask you about Decapitated. Vogg is an amazing player. I love Decapitated. How was that being able to tour with them?
Yeah, that was amazing. Actually, it was hard and fun and amazing at the same time. Vogg, yeah, he's monster. He's a pretty nice. He's a really cool guy. Absolutely cool guy. For me, it's like a legend because the first thing that I've been listening from Decapitated was just an album on the cassette. I found it in my suitcase, and so I tried to listen to it, and that was amazing. That was the first studio album of Decapitated when they were Vogg. He was 18 years old, and drummer was 16. And I've been listening to this album, and that was crazy. I didn't know about that because I didn't know about those guys are too young. But when I been known about that, I just wondering. It was amazing, and so really technical, interesting, very very cool stuff. And so then I've been listening to a lot other albums, and so we've got a chance to go to in the tour with them we have not a tour bus like them. I mean, nightliner and stuff like that. That was hard for us, of course. But yeah, we've been touring in the small car around Europe. Around we had to go for, I don't know, the longest road we had was 800 kilometers in one night from Turkey to Bucharest. Yes, to Romania. That was crazy, of course. But those guys of Decapitated, pretty cool. And Vogg, yes, actually, he's amazing guitar player, and we've been talking a lot with him. I asked a lot of questions, and once I just asked him, so maybe I'm too annoying for you. No, man, give more questions. I really like you ask me. So, and yeah, for me it was like learning something from the band who already much higher, bigger than your band in the music business, and how that works in this kind of tours. The management of tour, yeah, also amazing guys. The band Tide Disease from Poland also. They are making the tours for bands, for big bands, for Vader, Hate, and Decapitated around some areas. I don't know actually what areas they are managed, but I know that they do some stuff in Europe, and they make their job very good. Also, they're with the band Hatesphere from Denmark. Pretty cool guys. Yeah, I just chat with them a lot of time. They are really friendly. They're very professional. I really wonder how that guys can drink the beer before the show and talk to me that this kind of warm up before the show. I asked them, hey guys, maybe we can jam together. No, we can drink the beer and go on stage. And after they get the beer, they go on stage and make a really cool show. A really cool show. They sound very massive, very fast, looks pretty cool, like a thrash metal band. But I don't know how it's possible, because I'm not drinking alcohol at all. And Vogg also said that he will not drink during this whole tour, and yeah, he does. So and yeah, of course, his guitar sounds very very cool, pretty sick, and lead parts, everything was great, perfect. So yeah, Hatesphere, it's pretty cool guys, and also I learned a lot of them because they're really friendly, and they liked chat with Siberian guy too. So yeah, that was pretty cool experience.
That's awesome. So one thing I did notice on your page, you did a heavy version of Technical Difficulties from Paul Gilbert. So do you remember what was the third tape he did? A Terrifying Guitar Trip. So that technical, I don't know if you've seen that, but for listeners, we're talking about Paul Gilbert. Technical Difficulties was originally called Metal Dog on that instructional DVD. So my screen name, since I got that VHS tape back in the 90s, has been a version of Metal Dog or Metal Doggy. So, and I still can't play it like 25 years later, but but I saw that. I thought that was really, really cool.
If you speak about technical difficulties, yes, I'm really glad that you saw it. Sometimes, sometimes I think that there are no people who watching my videos at all. So this cover was a challenge for me, actually. As I said that I did some covers on classic guitar because I've got actually diploma of classic guitar player. I graduated from music college in my hometown. So actually, the first thing that when I get the idea to implement the classic guitar and metal was covers of American guitar players who based in Los Angeles. His name is Benjamin Woods.
Yep, I think I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, he plays a lot of flamenco stuff. I really love flamenco too, but he also was playing some covers of Judas Priest, Megadeth, and Metallica. It was amazing, especially for me. In my case, Megadeth. Megadeth was really cool on classic guitar. So, and I thought, wow, this guy is crazy. He plays in flamenco style, metal and flamenco is really connected. Actually, I found that it's must be very interesting, and I have to bring some interesting rhythmical structure, some vibes, harmonies, some melodies from flamenco to my music. But first, I decided to play in this style a kind of another song, metal songs in the flamenco style. That was my first idea. So
Mm-hmm.
I tried to play the technical difficulties and I understood, yeah, that might sound in classic guitar very good, but it's a challenge for me because it's too fast. It's too fast to play everything that Paul Gilbert plays on electric guitar with pick, on the classic guitar with fingers. Actually, with three fingers, but anyway, that's really, really hard. And so, yeah, I decided to do it. I don't know, maybe half of a year I've been practicing, but of course I did it not every day because I've got a lot of things doing in my life. So that's why I did it, but not on stoppable way, in inconsistency, I mean. So, and yeah, I did an arrangement, tried to play in a different key.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I the technical difficulty song played in the standard E, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I played it in the drop D on classic guitar and drop D on electric guitar. So yeah, I must move the whole step down on my guitar when I played solo of Paul Gilbert. I tried to play solo the same, but actually I know that impossible because I'm not Paul Gilbert. So and yeah, I tried to play it on the classic guitar. It was pretty hard, but pretty cool experience. I can play faster now. That helps me to play faster something something now. So yeah,
Mm.
Paul Gilbert is a iconic guitar player, one of my favorite, of course. Actually, for me, the favorite one is Joe Satriani,
Mm-hmm.
Steve Vai, but Paul Gilbert, of course, and in the I don't know, in top five maybe. Yeah, he's legend for me, of course. That was pretty hard to play actually on acoustic guitar and of course on electric guitar. That also very hard, very hard.
That's awesome. So let's start to wrap it up. One question I like to ask is, what does music mean to you?
The music means to me not just a fun. It's a way to it's a way to change the world better. Of course, for me, I want to I want to impact on people by music, but impact on the better way to get life maybe better. I would say so. The music for me also is. Implemented some picture in mind which I can't draw by my hands because I do it very on the poor level, of course. I can draw it on by music, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So simply music for me is the way to change the world for better results.
Awesome.
That's what I can say.
Yeah, that's awesome. If people want to listen to your music and get in touch with you, where can they go?
Yeah. So of course, social media is okay. People who likes the stuff of Pleximent may easily send a DM message in Instagram. Also, message on by email pleximentsgmail.com, and I don't know. I think yeah, these two ways is very good, and I think the best. Instagram and Gmail. Instagram is Pleximents Prog. YouTube is just Pleximents, and Facebook also Pleximents.
Cool. And I'll link all this in the show notes as well. And then at the end of the interview, I like to play a song by the person I'm interviewing. So what can we play at the end?
I think the song Integrity will be very good.
Okay, cool. We'll play that. This has been a fantastic conversation. Really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you again and continued success.
No, thank you so much for having me on the episode, and thank you for your time spent to the guy from Siberia.
Thank you so much for listening. I'd really appreciate it if you would leave a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, as this really helps get the word out about the podcast, so other musicians can benefit from the awesome knowledge that my guests are sharing. The more the musicians community collectively learns, the stronger we will become. A rising tide lifts all ships. This episode is sponsored by the Skinny Armadillo Printing Company in Fort Worth, Texas, offering a full range of apparel decoration and promotional items such as screen printing, embroidery, laser engraving, and much more. The Skinny Armadillo is now offering a merch fulfillment service including on-demand printing and a custom-built web store so you can concentrate on your music and running your business as a musician. Visit theskinnyarmadillo.com or call 817-546-1430 to learn how the Skinny Armadillo can help you take your merch to the next level. Keep pushing the needle and be excellent to each other. This is Evgen Tsibulin, also known as Pleximents, with Integrity.